What does winning look like? This. It's what the media doesn't want you to see while they fret and whine and cry about Trump's alleged trade war. Listen, let me explain something to you really quickly, okay? How do we end up losing a third of our manufacturing jobs in 10 years between the year 2000 and 2010? If Americans understood this, they could understand what Trump is doing. But the media won't explain it to them. I've had to literally do my own reporting on this. I've called up liberal economists, conservative economists. One of my best sources has been a liberal economist who's followed Clinton from the beginning and argued passionately against Clinton pushing China to get into the WTO and pushing for NAFTA. And he's a liberal. And he predicted the loss of roughly a third of our manufacturing jobs. It was almost exactly the number he predicted. So that got my attention. And I don't tend to listen to leftists much, but if you can make a prediction like that and get it right, then I want to talk to you. And I've spent hours talking to him. He got fired, by the way, from the think tank he was at for opposing Clinton and embarrassing him in newspapers. But he got it right. So I wanted to talk to him. He said, yeah, it was the double punch of NAFTA, which would allow the Canadians and Mexicans to decide what products came into our country at their borders. We wouldn't get a veto. That was a disaster. That let the Chinese get their products into our market. The WTO allowed them to trade with first world status. But when you join the WTO, you agree to open your markets too. Everybody else has. You also agree that, hey, if I sell a kind of phone or a voicemail system to the Germans, I'm not going to see them marketing it 6 months later under another name. They abide by our copyright and our patent laws. Well, China doesn't. And so the calculation was we would lose a couple million manufacturing jobs, but we would more than make up for it because we could get access to the largest human market on earth, that being China. It was not a bad gamble, except Bill Clinton didn't count on one thing. He made a huge mistake, that the Chinese would comply with any of the quid pro quo. They didn't. They left their markets closed to us. And so the largest human market on earth, we have no access to. Trump's trying to get access to it. That's what these tariffs are about. It's that simple. And this is what winning looks like. Headline, Bloomberg. This is Reuters. Headline, China plans import tariff cuts as soon as October. See, they put the hand-wringing, trade war could ruin U.S. economy. But the news that shows it's working, they put it in, virtual Chinese to most Americans. China plans import tariff cuts as soon as October. What is Trump demanding in exchange for lifting the tariffs? Import tariff cuts. What does this mean? China's opening the market finally. After a third of our manufacturing jobs are gone, after the Chinese shut down our manufacturing, then came in and bought the darn production facilities, after the decimation and devastation of city after city across this country, the absolute decimation of the working class. This could have been done during the Bush era. It wasn't. This could have been done during the Obama era. It wasn't. Trump's doing it. So what you're seeing here, and this is why they're putting this in this obtuse headline, China plans import tariff cuts as soon as October. Yeah, they're going to be starving in that country if they don't do something to counter these tariffs. In other words, it's working. So when they tell you trade war, OMG, OMG, just ignore them. It's okay. If it were working, the media wouldn't tell you, and it is.